Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Jianu, Pakhair Agale, Ni hao, Chunashume, Washmale. Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen. Hi, hugs and hellos, and a very good Khush Ahmadid to everybody who's tuned into PT World and a Watching World this morning, alongside Maha Makhdoom and Shazad Khan. Hello, Maha. How are you?
Hello everyone. Hello Shazad. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I'm very good, and I find it's because you've changed the way you say the introductions, like you say my name first. I find it very strange, but it's nice. It's different. I'm good today, Shazad. How are you today?
I'm absolutely perfect, keeping up with life, I think, and
Yeah.
this is the most essential aspect of everyone else's life as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, there are a few things which you probably need to focus on. What happens is that, there's a word for it, which I don't think that it's in my head right now, but what happens is that, we keep on delaying things in life.
Procrastination.
Yeah, procrastination. Thank you very much for
You're
saving
welcome.
my life, Ma. So what happens is that we say, okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, you tend to say, okay, I'll do it in the evening. And by the end of the day, you find yourself sleeping on the bed or on the couch. And most of the times, what happens is that you do not have those people who are your mentors or, you might be influenced by. So what happens is that you tend to sleep on the couch, the time flies away, and then, you know that everything has got you by the neck as well. So please make sure that you do not procrastinate. The simple formula to be on time and to follow your goals and your ambitions is, all you have to do is that you just have to probably just keep on trying for every day, for example, and just for 5 minutes. For example, if you have to go to the gym and you do not feel like, just start walking around, around your house probably, or outside in your garden. And within those 5 minutes, your body will actually prepare your own head or your mindset that, okay, you need to do that, because body actually is, it's so amazing that it picks up on things. And, when you gain that habit for once, you are there, you're on time, you're not procrastinating, you're not delaying any of your life goals as well. So that's what it is.
Okay, I don't understand why did you, is
No,
that the public service
no,
message?
that's not a public service message. But since this is the first thing, our faces are the first thing.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of people might see, and a few of them might not even feel the way they should, and a few of them might be stressed. A few of them might not be happy.
Oh, so basically this is what you've been thinking about. So these are your thoughts from
Yeah,
yesterday.
these are my thoughts. So
Okay.
I wanted to start my day with that. So I was like,
very
come
nice.
on, guys, do not delay. Make sure you're on time.
Exactly. No, that's a very nice message. And
Thank you.
it is about just it's mind over matter, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what it is. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think it's about time that we need to share our top stories for
Yes,
this hour.
absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on towards our first segment.
Okay, so the top story. Okay, wait. So the draw for Hajj applications under the government scheme are going to be held from tomorrow for the selection of pilgrims. So whoever's applied, that will start tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's great. And then, next headline is Pakistan for. Yes. So the Pakistani forces have carried out another targeted airstrike in Shazad?
Rajgal.
Exactly, in the Valley of Khyber Agency, killing several terrorists who had crossed over from Afghanistan.
Wow, that's
So
great.
hopefully there was no innocent people caught up in
Yeah.
it, but we haven't had, so it should be fine.
And now moving on towards sports, major blow for Indian Cricket Board and Big Three in International Cricket Council when it heavily outvoted on governance, structure, and revenue model. I think that's like a punch in the face for the Big Three as well, and we wanted that since the time Big Three came into being as well. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the top stories for this hour. But right now, I think what we need to do is that we need to probably move on towards the public service message, which is
Absolutely.
going to be Maha as well. So let's move on towards that segment first of all. Yeah, check that out. Yeah. All right, go ahead,
Okay,
Maha.
so the public service message is actually linked to the topic of our show today. But today it's about cruelty to animals. And actually, I'm really glad we're doing this today because there are quite a lot of number of stray animals like cats and dogs and all these things. And half the time they look really sad. And the thing is, they're living beings. You may have different feelings, whatever, but they're not human beings, they're living beings with, with
Feelings.
pain receptors or feelings. And we don't know what they feel, but don't be cruel to them. So many times you see people bugging them, throwing things at them, or, just be, even if it's kids, you need to control that because it's really wrong, and actually I wish there was some sort of like formal like consequence and punishment for people who tortured animals, because it is really, really bad, and I'm pretty sure it's not in our religion not
Yeah.
to harm animals as
And
well.
talking about that, most of the time, Maha, what I've witnessed is whenever you go to a zoo, whenever you go to a local zoo, may it be in Lahore, Islamabad, or Karachi, because these are the zoos where I've been, what I've seen is the majority of the time, for example, it's like a school, school day out for kids. What they'll do is that, the teachers get busy with obviously looking after so many kids in a row. So the kids start throwing pebbles as well, and then they'll throw food, which is not good for the animal as well. So please make sure that you look after them, and just please do not hurt all those animals out
Exactly,
there.
and the thing is, when you're in a position of power and you have influence or the power to affect other things or people's lives, it's your duty and responsibility to make sure that you're not hurting them or harming them in any way. So that is
Exactly.
our public service message.
And there's one more thing
Okay.
to it, and that is that most of the time what happens is that we as when we were young, we used to actually go beg our parents for probably a parrot or a dog, and we wanted to keep it as a pet as well. And they always said that my mother always made sure that I was in a contract with her that, okay, once I'm going to get a pet, I'm going to look after the pet, I'm going to clean the cage myself, and I'm going to do everything. For the first 2 days, obviously, every kid does that. But after the third day, it's on to the parents. So please make sure that, if you have taken full responsibility, look after them properly. Half of the time, whenever you're going out for dinners and lunches, you just leave your pets and unattended as well. You leave them in your cars. It's hot outside. Please make sure that you do not harm them. That's what our public service message is.
Exactly. So that is the public service message for today. And now we're going to move on to the actual show, which is linked. So
Yeah.
let's move on to that.
So, talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, over here in Punjab, livestock is actually, quite a lot of contributor within the national economy. And now what happens is that, obviously these are our daily products. We do eat mutton, we do eat beef as well, we do need milk, we do eat chicken, and there are other things. But, the livestock over here within Pakistan has not been performing to that extent or to the maximum capacity.
Yeah.
Now, what are the reasons behind that? Now, the certain reasons behind that is that we do not have a concept of taking our pets to, or probably the animals or the livestock, to a veterinary. Now, veterinary plays a very important role. Now, there are people who know what they are doing. Then there are people who keep on killing pets. You take them to the, sorry, I do not want to really, do this thumb thing, because I knew where I was sitting and I was just pointing out towards the veterinary clinic as well. So you take your dog, you take your cats there, and they say, oh, they are sick, we're going to admit them, and it's going to be a hospital type of thing. Fourth day, you get to know, oh, they're dead, and you get sad too. And it's not just that. You are obviously emotionally attached. Other than being emotionally attached, there is a cost to it as well. You spend your time on it. So what happens is that we need to make people aware of our country, that what capacity does lie within the livestock industry, and then what do we need to do in order to grow our herds.
Exactly. And then that's one aspect of it. And then Shazad's already touched upon the other aspect of what's happening within the veterinary science world and the importance of pushing that forward, because I haven't met that many vets. Like in England, I knew kids growing up, like, I'm going to be a vet when I grow up. Over here, I've not heard that specialization come out from the mouths of children. So to discuss all of these points, we've been joined by some guests in the studio.
And over here, God forbid, if if you're going to ask your parents that I want to be a veterinarian, and they'll be like,
okay,
तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब हो गया, डंगर डॉक्टर बनोगे तुम.
Okay, so exactly.
So let's get rid of that.
So let's get the conversation started. So we have been joined by Dr. Seher Zishan. She is a veterinary officer at the Livestock and Dairy Development Department at
Government of Punjab.
Assalamualaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam.
Besides Dr. Seher, we've been joined by Dr. Madiha Tariq. She is also a veterinary officer at the Livestock and Dairy Development Department. Assalamualaikum, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Besides Dr. Madiha, we've been joined by Dr. Javed Munir Shah. He is also a veterinary officer at the Livestock and Dairy Development Department. Assalamualaikum, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
First of all, to get started with the conversation, there's one
I
more
think
thing.
today Shazad's going to do
No,
it.
no,
So,
no,
like,
no.
I mean, it's like...
No, there's one more thing which I need to mention. That is that it's such a great pleasure to see veterinary lady doctors over here in the studios, because we do have a stigma attached to being a veterinary doctor, unfortunately. But other than that, all the different types of women I have witnessed in life, they're always scared of animals. How come you two are not?
Oh, is that where we're starting the conversation? Go on then, Dr. Seher, answer that.
So you guys are not scared of animals at all?
That's a very strange stereotype to have.
Yeah, because what happens is that, even if you're going to get goats for your Bakra Eid, I have never ever seen my mom or my wife tapping on the goats, oh, you guys look great and whatnot. They're just scared.
Okay, if we can, if we say about the women in case of veterinary science or livestock, a few women will come forward in this field. But on my side, when I look over me, then first of all, I was also afraid of animals. I even don't touch the butterfly also. But as soon you come into the veterinary side field, then you will realize this fact that these are the things, the animals are the things which are to be taken good care, and you should handle them with care.
Absolutely.
And they are not a kind of that you should be afraid of them, but they should be dealt softly.
Absolutely. Okay, great, wonderful. But thank you so much for being here. So let's get the conversation started. We're going to start from the livestock aspect of it all. So within Pakistan, we'll start from the beginning. What is the situation? What is the livestock and dairy development department doing regarding livestock?
Okay, in the agriculture sector, livestock is the major contributor, and we can say that 11.6% share of agriculture in the GDP, and livestock plays 56% role in that GDP.
Oh,
Right.
that's huge. Okay, excellent.
Okay.
So that's a massive thing.
So this is the we can say that this is the backbone of our economy also.
Exactly, that's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I very correctly mentioned, that within the national economy, there's a certain, in fact, a greater percentage of livestock and dairy. But other than that, the research says that the livestock and the dairy could actually do far more better than how how things are,
Okay.
to be exact. So I think I'm going to move on to Dr. Saab. Now, why do you think that we are not performing up to the capacity we have?
Actually, in the past, we were on the place that we will go and treat the animals. There is a disease, it comes, epidemiology, etc. But now the paradigm shift towards the from curative towards preventive. Now the circumstances are very good now.
Okay.
In the field. Yeah, we are contributing very much as for my country is concerned.
Okay.
So what we are doing, leave the past. We are much far away and much better now.
Okay, so now the thing is, that's fine, that's great to make these statements, but we now need to get into it. So Dr. Madhav, it's okay, you can smile. I know it's early, but the importance of livestock. So right now, currently, what is happening? The different livestock, are there systems in place? Is there any, tell us, because you said leave the past there. What was happening in the past that was negative, which we've changed now?
Well, if we look into the past, the medicines were not as much as available as the animals were diseased.
Okay.
And now if we talk about livestock department, they have changed that, like Dr. Javed talked about, like it is a paradigm shift. We have shifted from curative to preventive.
Okay.
We try to prevent diseases rather than curing them.
Okay.
So there is vaccination, a lot of free medication, free vaccination available for the farmers, local farmers, because when we look at, to the current situation, being an agriculture country, most of the people are having animals at their home, but they are not that much wealthy. If they are having animals, there may be 1 or 2 animals, but they are not that much wealthy. They are only running their home like because of that animal. They're not making much wealth out of it. So they don't really spend on them, on their health. So government of Pakistan is mostly now, at this time, is spending on that local farmer by giving them free medication, free vaccination, so that the farmer don't get, so that the animal don't get even ill.
Okay, so at least the income of the household is being protected.
That is a good point, and that's why we said that we're going to touch upon the veterinary aspect in the later half of the show as well. But over here, we're trying to, convince or probably, let our people know that how can they probably increase the production of their livestock. because I think this is one of the major hindrances within our community as well. For example, even if we talk about Punjab, that they reach up to a certain limit, and then obviously after that, they obviously have to extend the places where they keep them, and then other than that,
Yeah.
they do need husbandry services, which we might not even have in Pakistan.
So that's what we have to discuss. So what are the factors that are preventing this growth? So so Dr. Javed, tell us, you're talking about curative and preventative. So one of the aspects that stop people's livestock from growing or, expanding,
producing the
it's
maximum.
the diseases. So what are the diseases that livestock are suffering from in Pakistan at the moment?
There are major diseases in the dairy animals of Pakistan. Two major diseases were there: FMD, foot and mouth disease, and the HS.
Foot and mouth disease and HS.
HS,
Okay.
HS septicemia. The two diseases were very much common in our country. And now, what happened now? In past, we just disease came and we treated the animals. Now, what we are doing, before time we are vaccinating the animals, and these are the campaigns. We are working on multi-dimensional things. The first dimension is the awareness. We are awareing the people through multimedia, through radio programs, as the villagers used to listen the radio.
Exactly.
So we are in all over Punjab, in all over Pakistan, there are focal persons at radio, veterinary officers at radio. They are working there, and they are running campaigns. The other thing is the awareness at schools. We are running school focus programs. Our veterinary officers used to visit schools twice a month, and they used to get the school children involved in themselves.
Well, they used to do it, or they're still doing it?
They are doing it.
They are doing
Yes,
it, okay,
They are
right.
doing it. Now we are having targets.
Okay.
I mean, they are having targets. They have to fulfill their targets. They have to go to the schools. They have to go to the villagers and conduct farmer days, field days. And we also worked for youth in past youth festivals, and not we are working now field days, farmer days, and another thing is like TV programs, and we are working on the awareness of the farmers. The most important thing which just now we did is that we have brought up the farmers, one female, one male.
All right.
All of the villagers are having one messenger, one female, one male, and he is our bridge in between us and the villagers.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
this is what we are doing.
Okay, so that's great. You just said that there are policies in place as well, and now you move from curative to preventative as well. But other than that, there's one more thing which I would love to know, and that is that how do you think that we can probably convince that farmer or the one who actually owns that livestock that there are these problems, and you probably need to cater to them as quickly as possible? What are the weaknesses within the livestock productions?
In the past, the farmer don't trust to the veterinarians.
All right.
Okay.
And there was also
That I will do it
also not a
myself.
proper setup for the farmers to provide them facilities at their doorstep. But now, as the time is passing by, and through the policies of our Punjab government, especially the Livestock and Dairy Development Department, the farmer is coming back towards the veterinarian.
All right.
If I can say, in my dispensary, there was only 0 OPD.
Okay.
When I took the charge of the dispensary.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there. And but as the time passes by and you give time to the dispensary and you check the patient by yourself keenly and with interest, then you can say that a farmer have built interest in you and on the veterinarian.
Well, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to stop you here, but it sounds very funny to me.
What?
It's not normal. So what happens is that, you are at your dispensary, and, the patient comes in. And imagine who's the patient. The patient can be a goat, it can be a cow, it can be a chicken as well. Or Dr. Saab, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
how
you're
do you figure it out, well, for example, if you're in your dispensary, the OPD is up and running, and, patient comes in. So what are the general questions you guys ask from the owner
Okay,
as well?
can I ask in
Yeah, sure. Go
in
ahead.
Punjabi? Okay. Madam ji, मेरी जेड़ी बकरी है ना, ओनू जेड़ा है साड़ू पै गया है. I mean, what is?
What is Saru though?
Yeah.
Okay, so what she's saying is she's trying to, well, I'm not going to use the word imitate, but she's trying to tell us that, what are the type of questions they get within, while they're in OPD.
Yeah.
So she's saying that, okay, a woman would come in and she would say that, Madam ji, my goats, got a disease and it is named as Saru. Now, I don't know what a Saru is. What is a Saru?
Okay, saru is in English we call it mastitis. It is the inflammation of mammary glands, and when the mammary glands are affected, the animal is useless.
Okay.
Really?
Okay, yes. Because in the dairy sector, we used to keep the animals just for the milk.
Okay.
Okay, and when the animal is not producing milk due to inflammation in udder, then animal is useless.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the major disease which in my opinion is in Punjab or in Pakistan also is mastitis.
Okay.
In my dispensary, more than 70% patients are affected of mastitis.
Okay, now for all those people who are watching who don't know what mastitis is, Dr. Javed, what is mastitis and how does it affect livestock?
Yeah, mastitis is the inflammation of mammary glands that Dr. Sair told you. Sometimes the whole of the udder collapses, and sometimes one of the teats or half of the udder collapses. And it is the major loss of the economy of the farmer. You know, our animal is a major cash crop of the farmer.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
At morning, our villagers, they will sell out the milk and they will get the money and they will do something for the evening
Yeah.
for her house.
Okay.
So when the udder gets out, then the economy gets out. So it's the major collapse of the economy of the farmer when there is a mastitis case
Okay.
in the house. And
Alright.
that is that is very common disease, and we are having all the facilities to cope with the disease, to treat the disease. We are having all the medicine at our hospitals.
Treat and prevent? Can you prevent this?
You can prevent. There are some measures, but I think it is not preventable.
Okay.
It's better to be
there
treated.
there are some cares you can take up, that you can clean the udders, you can clean the environment, but there are chances that still you are doing everything at your part, but disease is there.
Okay.
We will definitely talk about other diseases as well, but I need to move on to Dr. Madeha over here. Now, you have a different dispensary as well.
Yes.
You know, or you probably have one dispensary each.
No.
Is that how it is? Or yeah. Okay,
How
go
does
ahead,
it
let
work?
us know.
Yeah. We are posted to a single dispensary, and if we talk about past, there was only one hospital that was present in an area, or you can say a Tehsil headquarter hospital. But now there are different dispensaries at Union Council level, and one veterinary officer or veterinary doctor is posted over there. So we are providing services, you can say, at the doorstep.
Okay.
So how
Because at
many
a Union
dispensaries do we have in all of Punjab?
Well, if we talk about union councils, there is a dispensary after every second union council.
All right.
So you can well
Okay, so
imagine.
that's
So the
very
facilities
convenient.
are there.
Yeah,
Yes.
facilities are there, and people are now well aware of it,
They
that government is providing them facilities at their doorstep. Doctor is there at their duty timing, starting from 8 to 3. Doctor
Okay.
is available. People come with their patients, with the animals, or they come alone to ask that.
So that means that it is very convenient. But over here, the only hurdle is, I think, you know, you very correctly said that there are radio campaigns and there are TV programs and whatnot. But other than that, I think the major problem over here is that people do not have a level of trust on or probably upon those dispensaries or the veterinary services
Well, why
being
don't you
provided.
tell us what is the biggest
Yeah.
problem that is preventing people
How
from
many times are
coming to you
people
guys?
willing to bring their animals or their livestock
Dr.
to
Sahar.
a doctor?
I think the question is somewhat molded because in the previous
What's preventing people from using the dispensaries and trusting you guys?
they just call the veterinarian to come at their home and provide treatment at their doorstep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr.
There are
Madhya.
also private practitioners.
Okay.
Private veterinarians, which you can like farmer can call them, like ये मेरे patient को ये problem है, so they can go at their place.
Okay.
So that people think that that is more convenient to them. But now our department has also given transport facility to the veterinary assistants available at the
What I'm
dispensary.
trying to
So if
ask
they
over
call
here
them,
is, what I'm trying to ask over here is, are people willing to bring their animals to a veterinary doctor,
Yes.
or they're not willing, or they think that, you know, you might kill them as well, or because the service is not up to the grade, you know, how do they feel? Is there resistance from the other part of
Dr.
the
Javed, he
society?
wants to try
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to say that there was
A time.
the time then when people used to say that when we are not going to the doctor or hospital.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that we are having even at each union council now we are having mobile veterinary dispensaries.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
A veterinarian in the dispensary, and that sort of dispensary is international type of dispensary.
Okay.
Not
So this is
less than that.
Okay, wonderful, because that leads on to what I wanted to ask, which was about how do you ensure the quality of the service and what that you're providing. So what are the schemes? So one of these things are the mobile dispensaries. So I feel like Dr. Sarah has something to say. So say what you wanted to say.
In case of mobile veterinary dispensaries, is just like an ambulance for the animals, and having all type of medicines in the dispensary, mobile veterinary dispensary, and the doctor is present in there, a veterinary assistant is present in there, and they provide the facility and preventive measures at the doorstep of the farmer.
Yeah.
In case of the far away places where the farmers are living in between the valleys or mountains, there the mobile veterinary dispensaries give their facility and provide facility to the farmers over
Okay.
there.
Now, when those mobile dispensaries go to these remote villages, what is their reaction? Has it taken time, or have they always trusted you? Like, is everything so? What's the situation when you go to them, Dr. Javed?
What I want to tell you that we are not in the past. No, we are having each and every
This is
farmer.
why you're here, to tell us.
Yeah.
So you need to
No,
tell
I
us.
will tell you.
Yes.
Each and every farmer of my province, as what I am saying, not about Pakistan, of Punjab. Each and every farmer is on a dashboard.
Okay.
He is connected to our system. 9211 system is a great achievement of our department.
9211. What system is it?
This is it is our helpline and a
Excellent.
dashboard, a website and a dashboard. What we do, we register, first of all, we register a farmer who comes to us or who connects us or who communicates us. We register him, his mobile number on our system.
Wonderful.
Then what happens when there is a disease or a vaccination program, he gets a message, an SMS.
Great.
In Urdu, in English. So what we are doing to get the distances between we and our farmers lesser.
Okay.
All right.
So this is a great achievement.
Absolutely.
I know each and every farmer of my area. She
Excellent.
knows her area. So everybody is connected now.
Wonderful.
Nobody is left behind. If one farmer is left that he is not vaccinated, the other tells him that there is a team and they came here and they vaccinated the animals, and what he will do, he will call the helpline, and our helpline is free and farmers are getting services from that helpline.
And all of these
Excellent. And this
vaccines
is-
are free as well?
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Services
free
are
as well.
totally free.
So ladies and gentlemen, the helpline numbers are going to be on the television screen as well. So they've got a website as well. You can go ahead and check.
08,000 9211.
080009211 is the livestock helpline. You can always call them, and the
What did you
Powerpuff
just say?
Girls will be
You
there.
just confused me.
080009211 is the helpline. So if in case your livestock is in trouble or you think that they're not feeling fine, please make sure that you call on the helpline. Wow, so that was great. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to go for a short break. But when you guys are going to come back, we will ask them the most common diseases within the livestock industry, and then how to treat them and how to cure them.
Okay, yes. And then we are going to also talk about the veterinary sciences, so do stay tuned.
Good morning.
largest cultural activity in Pakistan is the annual National Folk Festival, Lok Mela, held in Islamabad in October each year. Over the past 2 decades, this festival has taken on an international flavour, and more than 20 different countries have sent their artisans and performers to participate in the festival. Nationally, the festival has become a thing of pride for artisans and performers who come on their own to participate. Most important of all, the provinces of Pakistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir put up beautifully decorated pavilions, and visitors had the unique opportunity to see an assortment of Pakistan's traditionally rich culture in the federal capital of Islamabad for an exciting 10 days. An exhibition of artisans at work under the banner of the Heritage Museum forms the core of this festival. Pavilions of each province depict their own regional culture and crafts. The Research and Media Centre of Lok Virsa arranges groups of dancers that perform all over the festival grounds, inviting visitors to join in, and in the evening arranges music concerts from all parts of Pakistan. This festival is a true depiction of the diversity found in Pakistani culture. Fairs and festivals of Pakistan.
Welcome back, everyone. And before the break, we are discussing about the state of livestock and what's happening in Pakistan. We start from generally in Pakistan, what the situation is. It is a huge factor within the economy. And then we also talked about the area of Punjab, because this is the area we're sitting in right now. And, you know, if people want to come from other provinces and talk to us about it, they're more than welcome to talk about that areas as well. And now one thing I'd like to highlight, just update our audience, we're not going to actually go into veterinary science and the situation within that and the students and the social stigmas attached to it, because it's such a huge factor. We're going to stick to livestock because there are some really important acts and things we need to talk about.
Exactly, and talking about that, I think what we can do is, and what is going to be beneficial is that we talk about the most common diseases within the bigger animal as well, and then the smaller animal. Yeah. And by the end, we're going to talk about this act which has been introduced as well, and with which, you know, they've got more control and they've got more power indeed as well. So let's see. So, okay, you know, when we talk about cows, horses, you know, the bigger animals, these are the bigger animals. What are the most common diseases and how can they be prevented or cured? Because we have, you know, we went into the prevention side as well.
Okay, in case of large ruminants, the major diseases are including hemorrhagic septicemia, plus foot and mouth disease.
Tell us in layman.
Okay, we can say hemorrhagic septicemia, and in jargons it is galghotu.
Galghotu.
Which is
okay.
what
Galghotu.
So,
okay,
okay, you know, people might know them.
That's not layman, that's Urdu. So
Yeah,
you go from
Galghotu-
technical to Urdu.
Yeah,
so
Galghotu, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the very common diseases.
Yeah. In case of galghotu, the animal is suffering from high-grade fever, and he or she die of suffocation.
Oh no!
Yeah, because
Galghotu.
this virus.
Galaghotu.
Okay, wait, yeah.
Yeah. This virus will make a plain membrane-like thing in the air passage, and due to suffocation and shortening of the passage, the air passage will become.
So it's painful for the animal
Yeah,
as well.
and within 6 to 8 hours, the animal dies.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
And it is very much sudden that if you have not vaccinated the animal can die on the spot.
Right now, tell us, for this disease, is it preventable, curable? What's the situation?
It is I think we should go for first is the vaccination.
Yeah.
Prevention is better in this
Yeah,
case. All right.
vaccination is the first thing, and in case if you are seeing the symptoms of hemorrhagic septicemia, then it is a little bit difficult to cure it, as as I have already said, that it will not take more than 6 to 8 hours.
So you have to, the farmer needs to know what's
And
happening.
is it like a viral
Yeah.
disease? Is it like
Does it spread?
Yeah,
you know, does it
Pasteurella
spread?
hemorrhagic.
It spreads to the other animals?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
So what about now?
it's,
So what about the next
bacterial.
one, Dr. Madha? Tell us another one that's.
Is it smaller animals, which means chicken, fish? You know, let's talk about that as well.
Sheep and goat are
Yeah, sheep and
Oh,
goat.
okay, sheep and goat. Okay, you can tell us.
I went way too smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went way too smaller. Well, in small animals, we consider sheep and goats. And the major diseases in sheep and goats are PPR, which is the major killer disease in
Which is?
small animal. PPR,
In
Yeah,
Urdu.
what's PPI for?
Pestis despotaitis,
Which is?
and
Eh,
yeah,
What do we call it in Urdu?
Kata.
Kata. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what our farmer language is, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, and
Kata.
now
Well, in
what happens?
every other area, and if you talk about vernacular language, in every other area you call disease differently.
Okay.
Yeah, so every other farmer
Okay,
would
so-
consider
Some might call it
disease differently.
saru,
Okay,
some
that's
might call
fine.
it
That's
kata.
fine. Okay, let's not focus on what they call it. What happens when this happens? What's the
When
problem?
the disease happens, first of all, the animals leave food.
Okay.
All right.
The major problem happens is the pustules on their mouth, their tongue, inside their oral cavity, and there is diarrhea, which leads to major weakness of the animal.
Okay.
And then due to that weakness, the animal might also die.
Okay.
Because that diarrhea might lead to dysentery, the bloody diarrhea as well.
Okay.
So animal might lose blood as well, and because of the weakness, animal might die.
Is this contagious, and is it preventable and curable?
It is contagious, and it's better to be prevented.
Okay.
All right.
And we have vaccines for that.
There's
And in
vaccines.
different seasons, we are giving vaccination to the animals free of cost as far as the department is concerned.
Amazing.
And farmers are well aware of it, that before this disease comes or before the season comes, they do ask vaccination is not being done. And before they ask, even we do vaccination of
sounds like
PPR
the
and other
farm-
major diseases
They
as well.
sound very aware now, and they're really involved, and everyone's really involved with
Yeah,
each other.
just because the fact that we've got dispensaries after every
We have
two
got
union councils,
dispensaries
I think
smaller
that's
level, and a doctor is all time available there, and they
That's
can
excellent.
contact as well on our
that is
helpline, so
amazing.
they are
Doctor,
well
moving
aware.
on to you now. Now I've got a question which I think all Pakistanis who are out there, they want to ask these people, just because of the fact that they are even connected with the Punjab government and they're working on behalf of the Punjab government. Now, majority of the people over here in Pakistan have got their, fingers raised because of the fact that they think that the type of food which we serve to the livestock is not up to the quality, and we're not actually looking after that as well, and we feed them with, probably dead animals' intestines as well, and whatnot. So, do we have any food act in place as well?
Yes, in the past there were no hard and fast rules. There were laws, but there were no hard and fast. But now the acts have been introduced. There are many acts in the livestock industry which have been introduced in recent past years.
Okay.
The most important is Feed Control Act. There were times when animal died. Many of the large animal died. Even you listened in Karachi, Landi colony. Many of the buffaloes died due to the feed they given to their animals. But now the Feed Control Act has been introduced. What we did first, the act has been introduced, then we have been given the powers. There are feed control inspectors in the veterinary sciences. And what are the major acts? There are many things which we have to discuss, but there are some acts that this type of formula is to be used. This type of formula is not to be used. This mill is registered or not registered, and what type of feed or the fungus infested meat, the fungus infested feed was given to the animals, and which used to take the animal toward the aflatoxins, and
Alright.
many of the things are there.
So
But
now this act has been implemented.
yes,
Are you
this
guys
is
looking
implemented,
Yeah.
and many hundreds of the FIRs have been given to the culprits.
Okay.
All right.
And this is culprits at all levels. This is not, the easy target, because that's what happens with certain rules. You implement it on the ones that don't have any option but to.
Exactly,
No,
that's what it is.
it's implemented on every level. If you talk
Great.
about small scale
Huge scale.
food providers to the feed mills.
Okay.
Like they are regularly being checked, what are they
Excellent.
making, the ingredients and everything. The quality of the feed is regularly being
No,
checked
but
by the
other
officers.
than these FIRs, what happens to the feed mill as well? Do we shut it down, or are
What
there
are the
still?
consequences of
Yeah,
breaking
are
the
there any consequences for
Yes,
that?
the inspectors are having the powers to seal the milk. They are also having powers to get the owner of the mill into the jail.
Okay.
He will be the responsible. He will be the responsible person for the killing of those animals affected with that feed. So there are many rules and regulations which force the owner to get good things into the feed.
Okay, but other
Okay.
than that, there's one more thing which I wanted to ask, and that is that, our farmers, they might be very well aware. I mean, for example, if they have been in the industry and they've been working for so long, but there are different breeds and there are different types of animals,
Yeah.
and some of the people might not even have an idea of, for example, if they want to be a part of the dairy industry, or probably they want to have a milk industry or something of that sort. They don't know what type of cow they should probably be buying. So I do not know what the exact jargon is, probably culling, that's what you were mentioning. So
Yeah,
how does it work? And let's make people aware that these are the types you want to buy.
In the past we were not having any rules in the breeding that this cow should be bred with that male.
Okay.
We were not having any rules. We were not having the records of the animals that this is a good producer, a high producer cow, or a son of a high producer. Now we are having records. We have introduced another important act, Breed Control Act. This is another important act, and we have selected local animals in the local areas which can cope with the disease, which are good in bloodline for the farmers to mate their females.
Okay.
So we are moving towards good genetics also. We are selecting good producers. Then we are introducing to the farmers. First we make committees. We get the animals blood tests. If that animal is disease free, there is no any issue in the bloodline, then we introduce that animal into the village, and we ask the farmers, and we give incentive to the owner of that animal.
Excellent.
That you let the other farmers of the village to mate your females to that male, and you will get the incentive from government. So this is what we are giving to the farmer and attracting the farmers to create new and good animal. Other than that animal, if another farmer comes from the village and he claims that he is having good animal, then that animal in already selected, then we perform test of that animal. If that animal is good, we select this animal.
So that's wonderful. And now finally, I think the final question is, well, maybe Shazad,
Yeah.
unless he has more after this. But after all of this, all these acts, all the mobile dispensary, all the schemes that have been started, has this improved and increased the
Production of rice.
and the contribution to the production and economy, etc., everything overall?
I think so, yes, because of these acts and many policies of Punjab government and livestock department. Our livestock department is flourished very much. And in future, it will also be beneficial for the farmers also. Because we are just, I will say that we are just pioneers in this case, that we are facing all these policies and all these acts, and we will create a baseline for the future veterinarians also
Wonderful.
to work in this field.
Excellent.
Maybe that is. Anybody who wants to say anything,
Any final
before
words?
we wrap it up?
Dr.
know,
Javed, would you like to say any final words?
Are you satisfied with the, Punjab government as well, and the amount of hard work they're putting
seem
into
very.
this department?
Yeah, we are very much satisfied. Farmers are satisfied. Now, when I go to I'm a media man. I belong to Radio Pakistan.
Oh,
So
great.
I am a media guide.
Yeah.
So when I go and listen to the farmers, they always say, Dr. Saab, circumstances are very good.
Yeah.
People are coming, they are vaccinating animals. We haven't seen any of the government employees coming into our house and vaccinating our animal. Now we are having, we are on daily basis, we used to know that the doctor will pass on this route, and they are standing for the doctor to stop him
Excellent.
and to tell him their problem.
And just a quick one, and you enjoy the work that you guys are doing? It's a
Yeah.
good job?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
Like now
Like
the smiles
everybody's
come,
happy.
like they all lit up.
One last thing over here, and that too very quickly, and that is that, for example, by the end of the day, we do have to export certain amount of meat or dairy products as well. Other than that, over here, how do we keep a control over the prices as well, so that, for example, in terms of farmers, so that they should get paid for all of the hard work they put in, and in terms of the consumer as well?
Okay, let me tell you that we are also working to develop a market for the farmer.
Okay.
So you see on Eid al-Adha, we find very good animals at Eid al-Adha, male animals. But on daily basis, we don't find such animals. Farmer knows that on Eid al-Adha, he is having a very good market. So what he does, he prepare animals for Eid.
Yeah.
What we are doing, we are just creating market. That I have already told you, ostrich farming and many of the things are there. We are working on the assess of the market for the farmer. We are working to develop a market for the farmer. We are introducing the animals. We are introducing the farmers to the mega marts for their desi eggs, for their meat, beef, mutton, everything. So farmer is very much satisfied now. He is having a market. He's having a look into the future that I'm having a market.
Great.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming over. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences. And thank you very much for making our people aware of the facts, which we didn't knew even. So, yeah, it was a tough job, but it was very well done. But ladies and gentlemen, right now we need to move on towards the juice of the day. And the juice of the day we have picked up on is sugarcane juice, which is
Yes.
the national juice of Pakistan as well. So the health benefits of sugarcane juice are?
Well, it contains no simple sugar, so if you're suffering from diabetes, then you can have it without risking your health.
It helps in the treatment of jaundice as well.
And restoring the protein which is lost during febrile conditions like fever.
Yeah, and other than that, it is helpful in treating kidney disorders as well.
And fighting against cancer, especially prostate and breast cancer.
Helps in weight management.
And then if you've got a sore throat, cold, or flu, this will be helpful.
Exactly. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. With that, do not forget to log on to our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of.
Well, this morning.
On Twitter.
Well, this morning without a G.
On Daily Motion on YouTube.
Well, this morning.
And the fabulous repeat is going to be at
11:05 p.m. this evening. In the evening, 11:05 p.m. Everyone always asks me as soon as we say goodbye.
Yes. So look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good morning.